first and foremost, call law y'all by Shem Yao Shai, by Shem Makaka, Das double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, who taught us this true citation. All y'all can pushing this word day in and day out, doing this quick lesson on this guy, DJ Trump. He signs a memorandum ending remote work for federal employees, man, all right? So, remote work, which I actually experienced this with my last W-2 job. All right. The last 40-hour week job. I remember when the virus hit in 2020. And like that same month, that same exact month in March, they because prior to that we were in the office every day, right? Just like any other job. This was an office job, mind you. So I remember we got an email, we had an emergency meeting or some shit. This is 5 years, so I vaguely remember the exact details, so I'm just going through it, how it makes sense. So, remember we had like a staff meeting. I want to say this was via Zoom or some shit, or a conference call. I think it was on the phone. Yeah, because I remember back before we did Zoom meetings, we actually used to do phone meetings, right? And then the Zoom took over after that. So we had a phone meeting. And it was an emergency mandatory meeting. I remember the whole staff had to be there. They had to hear your voice. It was like a roll call and everything. So when I got there and shit, man, it was like, okay, we're gonna try to work from home. And I was a contractor for the government, just doing basic shit, basic ass job. And it was like, yeah, you gotta, make sure you stay on your computer, your laptop, your phone line, and everything. Because if you do good with this, we can do good with anything. You know how Eve talk. It's open up more opportunities or whatever for remote work. So I was like, all right, bet, hell yeah. I was tired of wasting gas anyway, driving to the damn office. You know what I'm saying? So I remember they was like, yeah, we got to pick up our laptops and shit. And, went ahead, got my laptop. You know what I'm saying? I was working from home and shit, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was a breeze working from home, Because I worked the night shift, so I was like, that's the slowest, easiest shift. So, I'll go up in there and, I'll log on and shit. Make sure my Wi-Fi, my internet connection is good. Make sure I pay my internet bill. What else was it? It was a breeze, man. I was fucking knocked out half the time. Half the time I was knocked out, or I was watching, TV, sporting events, playing video games and shit. I think at the time, PS4 going into PS5 was out. So, remote work is a breeze, man. Because, and I don't even have a family. I can imagine people with families and shit, right? They saving all this money on daycares and shit. Ordering Uber Eats, getting groceries delivered to the house. They ain't got to leave their home for nothing. They ain't got to leave their kids for nothing. So now, you're making these people go back to living a normal life, man. Dropping their kids off at daycare, then school, and so forth, man. All right. And here it is. Some of these people, their children, they still doing remote school. You know what I mean? They're doing remote school. So here it is. They got to leave their little 11-year-old, 12-year-old in the house by themselves. And the scripture says a child left to themselves, roughly paraphrasing, is left willingly. So they're able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Also, it's twofold. You can even equate that in as truth, because we come in as truth as babes. So you want to be under right leadership. But, even for these people in the world, their children are in the house by themselves. Guess what? What they end up, doing sex acts, end up on drugs, all types of shit with their parents at work all day, while they home doing remote school. you know, and calling their friend or boyfriend or girlfriend over, and they in the basement acting like they at their own house, but the whole time they in there, the same house with the little girl they want to mess with, or the little boy, vice versa, they want to mess with. So this remote work shit, it's a bonus, it's a perk, it's a benefit. But Trump is a businessman, so he wants to put the people back in the offices. So his buddies that own little side businesses in the DMV, especially downtown DC region, start booming again. Because most people, they're not bringing their lunch to work. Most people on their lunch break, they spending that $25 every day to $20 every day on food. You know what I mean? And coffee and drinks and snacks and so forth. So that's 100 a week. This is for one person, 100 a week, 400 a month. That's missing from these local businesses. All right, so this is Trump just looking out for his confidants, his buddies. All right, so that's why the federal government is back in the office, and a lot of his contractors are too. I'm sure the contract I used to be in, I got laid off like going on a year, almost a year and a half ago, maybe a year and 4 months. I got laid off from that job. But even at the time I was laid off, we were like hybrid schedule. I want to say I was still like 70% remote, maybe like 20-30% office, man. I mean, it wasn't much office at all. I think it was like 1 week a month I had to show up in the office. So I guess you could say 75% remote, 25 in the office. And that was when I was laid off. So, but I think I talked to one of my ex-coworkers, and she was like, Slocky for the ramble, but she was like, they back in the office on some weird schedule shit. So more than what it was when I was there. So they probably back full time now. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the habitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He the so-called white man. He's coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has a short time, man. All right, so and part of his wrath is putting people back in office because they want to do another 2020 event, right? I can't really say it, but another 2020 event. And how are you going to do that if everyone's remote, right? How are you going to spread the next biological, chemical disease if everyone's at home, man? It can't really spread that way. So what? You got to get people back in the office, man, for the pestilence to thrive, okay? So, the scriptures in the Apocrypha goes into, all over the scriptures goes into pestilence, but the Apocrypha talks about what the Lord's getting ready to bring, man. You know what I mean? To go right along with this article, man. All right, so this is 2nd Ezra 15:49. I will send plagues upon the widowhood. So a lot of you women gonna lose your husbands, and you got a lot of wicked women here in the DMV, man. You know what I mean? There's wicked women everywhere, but here they're really witches out here, man. They got their whatever college degree you can think of, the most educated, the most disrespectful, most liberal, most feminist women are out here in the DMV. Poverty. So poverty is here, man, because you're going to have people say, nah, fuck that. I ain't going to the office. I'd rather quit this job. And they're not going to get another job that they're going to bring them the amount of income they once made, man. Because inflation and, the job market is trash right now. You got to really know somebody to get a good job, man. Good paying job. Famine. Hey, man, the stores are pretty much empty, man, especially on the weekend. Like if you go grocery shopping, don't go on the weekend, man, because that shit's gonna be ran the fuck through Friday, or before a big snowstorm, or before hella cold. Don't go. Hey, man, don't fucking go. Then, man. But the grocery stores aren't at 100% capacity. I could tell you that for a fact. It's more like 60% capacity, man. Right now we're in a light famine. Real soon it's gonna be a full scale famine, to where it's gonna be a lack of bread, like it says in the Apocrypha, man. Man shall have no pity upon his neighbor because of the lack of bread. Because all the food comes into these cities and suburbs on food trucks. All right, unless you want a farm, all your foods come in on a food truck, and something's gonna happen to where these trucks are inoperable, man. All hell's gonna break loose. And when I mean food truck, I'm not talking about Pablo's little Mexican tortilla food truck. I'm talking about like these 18-wheeler big rig trucks, man. That haul your food from one side of Babylon to the other, man. State to state. Pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death, man. So, these households are gonna get tortured, man, real soon because of the lack of bread. And these people lack faith, man. People gonna become cannibals, man. Right? I know I'm segueing, but this will be the end game of the end of remote work, man. People's gonna go back in the offices. It's gonna cause people get more sick. Cause one thing about the federal government, which is I believe the number one employer in the DMV, they had a mandate. I want to say going back to like 2021. On the YAB. All right, they had a mandate on the YAB, and I remember they presented me with that shit. But how the fuck happened? Okay, I got an email from I think HR. It wasn't even my supervisor. No, it was like HR. He sent me an email asking me, where my YAB papers at, basically. And I told them, it's against my religion. So they told me I had to submit a letter. So I did a religious exemption letter. I put in a few scriptures, I think 2 or 3 scriptures, and I never heard back. You know what I'm saying? So that was the Lord, vindicating me, man, delivering me from that situation, man. All right. So might as well get the hour of temptation, man. Because you people, you want to keep your job, you want to keep your lifestyle, you want to keep your little plush homes, your 2-car garages, and all that shit. This is Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So, hey, for you brothers, that's and it's truth and with sincerity and unfeigned. Hey, the Lord's gonna keep us away from the tribulations getting ready to come, man. Because really, this is the jack up you 2/3, which I'm glad the Lord took me out of. Of course, some pain and transitioning into, from W-2 to 1099, right? I make money my damn self now instead of depending on a job. But it was tough. But it builds up faith as well too, man. But it was a faith booster. But a lot of these people gonna get tempted, man. The Lord ain't gonna keep them away from the hour of temptation, especially these government workers, because the federal government's gonna be one of the worst places, one of the first and worst places when it comes to that C-hip, man. That 666, the mark of the 666. When that shit comes out to the masses, they're gonna be the first place to institute it, man. Would be the federal government, and DC is gonna be a wasteland. Even before the missiles come, in my humble opinion, they showed you that in what's that video game called, man? Fuck, The Division. Yeah, it's called The Division 2. You know, DC was a wasteland. All hell done broke loose, man. So, and even different forms of entertainment, different movies, shows, whatever shows, DC is falling. But yeah, it was a movie that says Olympus is falling, or DC is falling, where DC was destroyed. And, you know, certain brothers had visions of DC being taken out, man. So, and I worked right there, man, right by the Capitol building. So, you know, the Lord's delivered me from whatever the hell's about to go down out there. It ain't gonna be pretty, man. Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell on earth. Yeah, so this market of 666 is gonna be worldwide, man. All right, worldwide, man. So that's why we gotta, constantly fast and pray, and be on the Lord's good side, man. Because hey, for you people that's on this bad side that just finished celebrating pagan holidays, man, at the end of the year, beginning of this year, and so forth, man, and you're looking forward to committing all types of abominable acts, this late winter going into spring, adultery, all types of shit, man. Hey, Lord's gonna try your ass and you're gonna fail. You're gonna succumb, man, to that market of 666, man. All right, so I'm gonna end it there till next time. Shalom.